that's not the end of my story. But it's the place up to where most people believe me. Well, now, I know how this is going to sound. And I've seen that same look on everyone's face. Humor the old gal and pretend to believe. But, a few nights later, while they were still guarding them grapes like they was made of gold, and I had to sleep in the park on Pennsylvania, Jesus came and talked to me. Now, I know what you're thinking already, that either this lady's as crazy as Willie or she just fell asleep and dreamed the whole thing. Well, I'm sure it was no dream, and I'm not crazy. But as I huddled there in the same bushes where Willie and I had slept the year before after the plane crash, I heard a voice, a young man's voice, say, "Lizzie." Now, I know he said that because that's what my mama used to call me, and he wanted to put me at ease. He said, "Lizzie, I want to talk to you." Now, I didn't know yet that it was Jesus. And I've been on the streets long enough to know you just don't come running out when you hear somebody call your name. But the third time he said it, "Lizzie," well, I got this warm feeling inside, just like when I heard Willie breathing that night after the plane crash and knew we'd made it. So I stepped out of the bushes and into the light of the lamppost. And there was Jesus, just like I always imagined him, in a long white robe. Well, he was sitting on the park bench, and his breath was making little clouds just like mine. "Aren't you cold?" I asked. He laughed real quiet and said, "No." "Why are you here?" Well, he answered in the calmest voice I ever heard. He said, "No, Lizzie, I haven't come to take you. I just want you to know that Willis is doing fine." Well, that made me feel real good. But I wanted to hear him say more, so I walked around the bench, and I sat down next to him. Oh, not too close so as to be rude, about a foot or two away. Now, everybody asked me, but I couldn't see his face, the way the lamp lit him from behind, but I could see the outline of his beard, and on his shoulders, his hair shined, beautiful. "Willie's in heaven, huh?" I try to make it sound like I was agreeing with the Lord. I always knew Willie'd make it to a better place. "Yes, Lizzie," said Jesus. Now, I waited a moment. And then I decided you only get this chance once, so I asked him, "Lord, meaning no disrespect, but why did you take him?" And Jesus answered, "Because he was ready. He wanted to go. He didn't really want to leave you. But it was the right time." Well, somehow I felt that Jesus was right. And then I just blurted out, "Well, what about all the others that died around him?" And Jesus said, "I couldn't help that." "Well, what do you mean you couldn't help that?" Oh, it was out of my mouth before I remembered I was talking to him. "Some people go when they're ready. I can feel that," he said. "Others go by accidents, even though they may not be ready." And then I had one last question to ask. "Jesus, am I ready?" "I know the answer to that," he said, "but so do you." And then he stood up and said, Willis is doing fine, don't worry. And he stood a moment under the lamppost. And I said I wouldn't worry, and I stood there not knowing whether to bow or curtsy or what. They don't teach you nothing in Catholic school about how to talk to the Lord in the flesh. So finally I just said, thank you. You're welcome, Lizzie. Goodbye and take care. And he raised his hand. Well, now, I couldn't see any nail mark, but I'm sure it was there. And then, after a moment, he turned and stepped off into the darkness. Goodbye, Jesus. I said it after he disappeared, but I'm sure he heard me. Well, you're not going to read about that in the newspaper or see it on your TV set. I wouldn't even try to tell them no, they just think I was some crazy old woman. But it's been a few years, and I've told a couple of people, and I've seen the look on some of their faces. And I used to worry that Jesus wanted me to do something, though he didn't say anything when he was here. I even wondered if maybe it was my mission to find other people like Willie. But now, on my birthday, well, I know I don't have much time left. And I wouldn't want to have to leave someone behind. I know now that these last days are for on my own. And that's okay. Singing them old tunes of Willie's. Feeling ready.